This is the best experience with Nick Best and the Angry Dad. And before we get into today's episode, I'd like to thank Barbell Apparel. Look, premium athletic wear engineered for performance with a tailored athletic fit, refined clothing for the athletic body type. And get hooked up at Barbell Apparel/best. Link is in the notes. Please use it. We appreciate it. And guess what? If you want to be coached by 10-time world's strongest competitor, Masters world's strongest man, world powerlifting champion Nick Best, guess what? The link is in the notes. You can step up your coaching, step up your level, and get to that next tier. Also, too, if you want Nick at your event, you want to see Nick at your event, you want Nick to host an event, you want Nick to speak at your event, well, guess what? You fill out that application, and we'll come on down. You'll receive an email from me.
Yeah, this is very true.
That's it. With that being said,
multi-talents.
Multi-talents. Excuse me.
With that being, without you, this doesn't happen. So
you know what I'm saying? With World's Strongest Man right around the corner, we are a week away. And you know what? There was an update.
I know. I'm excited.
Exactly. And with that update, we actually have a list, times, and days. And Nick's gonna actually break them down for us.
Yeah, so it looks like they came out with finally the actual schedule of the times and the stuff of the events and what the events are going to be and where they're going to be at. So without further ado, the qualifiers are going to start actually Wednesday, April 19th, not the 18th. And then the 20th, they'll have the 21st off, and then the finals will start Saturday the 22nd and the Sunday the 23rd. So the events are going to start at 8 a.m. It's the loading race at Burroughs and Chapin Pavilion Place. Not sure where that's at, but we'll find out.
Yeah,
sand stage. So I'm assuming you're going to be racing in the sand this year. That should be fun to watch and pretty murderous because running through the sand is not a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It slows you down quite a bit. So the guys that are quick, it's going to slow them down a little bit because their feet, they'll have smaller feet and they'll actually sink into the sand a little more, which is kind of funny. And the bigger guys with the boats will actually go faster on the sand because their feet are bigger.
So it's better. Is it better with shoes?
Yeah. So if you have a size 18 shoe, yeah, you're probably going to be okay in that if you're in decent shape. But 8 a.m., so it starts early. So these guys are going to have to get up at probably like 5 or 6, eat, and then get on the bus and get out there and get everything set up. Loading race is at 8 a.m. and then the deadlift machine, which they're going to pull some type of machine. Usually it's a keg loading machine. Mm-hmm. That'll be at 11:29, which is a strange time instead of just 11:30. I don't know. So whatever.
It is strange.
It's kind of
very,
funny.
very on point.
Very, very 11:29, not 11:30, 11:29.
29.
And then they're going to do the log ladder, which will be, I think it's either 4 or 5 logs in a straight line. And you just keep going to the next log as you press the logs, which is going to be interesting because that traditionally the platforms with those are pretty big and pretty wide, but they're pretty soft. They're givey. So the heavier guys, when they're cleaning the log, when they go back to press, the floor is going to give more on them, which is going to make it pretty interesting and a little bit more difficult for the heavier guys to press because you got to balance that above your heads, especially on your shoulders. When you go to drive, the floor is going to give unless somehow they do it on concrete, which would be fantastic. Then everybody's going to fly through that. So it should be pretty interesting. And that's on the 19th. That's at 4:49 p.m. Again,
exact.
4:49.
I'll be timing it on the side. So if you see me at 4:49, I will be on the side making sure.
Yeah, we got to have fun with this. It's pretty good. So qualifier day 2 is Thursday, April 20th. So it's 4:20.
Mm-hmm. Wink, wink.
Yeah, whatever. They're going to start at 8 a.m. with the Conan's wheel. So you get to wake up, get a full belly, and go put weight on your belly and run in a circle. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So the smart competitors will eat a little bit, or they'll get up even earlier, like at maybe 4:30, eat, get some food in, and let it completely digest before they go on that, because a full belly and Conan's wheel does not mix well and could be rather messy. But that should be a fun cleanup. Okay, so Conan's wheel at 8 a.m. and then the kettlebell toss at 1:20. So at least we're on an even time there. So at 1:20. And that'll be the kettlebell toss. And I think it's either 7 or 8 kettlebells, and they get up there fairly heavy, like 50, 60 pounds. So that'll be fun to watch. And then we just got to find out what the height that they're going to be throwing over is. We don't know if it's, 14 feet, 15 feet, 16 feet, 17.5. We don't know the height of the board yet, but that's okay. And then, of course, the stone off. So we get to the stone off, but that starts at 6:13 p.m. exactly.
On the dot.
And the good thing is that's only going to be there's 5 heats, so that's only going to be five attempts at it. But it's going to be pretty interesting to watch. That'll be it'll still be pretty hot outside. The stones won't be direct sunlight, so you probably won't have as many mistakes with tacky per se, using the wrong tacky in the heat, but you still just never know if they left the stones out cooking in the heat. They're still going to be a little slick for the guys that use different types of tacky. And that will be the end of the qualifiers, and we'll know who goes in. I mean, the kettlebell toss, we'll know who wins the heats on that one. And then after the kettlebell toss, the stone off will be the second and third place guys, and we'll see who goes in from there.
Yeah.
I would go into predictions and what I think the guys are going to do against who, but they won't release that till the 18th. So on the 18th, we'll know who's in what heats, and we'll be able to better tell who's going against whose strengths, who weaknesses, and be able to kind of decide, and look at and see where people should finish, which is why we're not giving a prediction like that today.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I know a couple of the guys are in pretty darn good shape. I know one of them is coming to beat whoever's in his heat and whoever's in the final. He's on a mission, and he's in a zone that I haven't seen him in a while. So it's going to be, I'm looking forward to this.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. All right. So we go to the finals Saturday, April 22nd. First event, Fingal Fingers at 8 o'clock in the morning. Whew, that'll be a good event. That's going to be fun to watch. It's neat to see those things go over. It's a very entertaining one to watch, and it's fun. And we're going to see who got the good work in and who doesn't.
And it says we're going to be on the street stage for that one too.
Yeah, you're going to do Fingal Fingers in the street. I mean, it's the safest place to do it. And you need a lot of room. You need probably 50, 60 yards to do a full run of fingers in, because they're not going to go back and forth with the thing. They're going to go to finger to finger to finger, and there's 5 of them. So that should be a pretty interesting event. That's going to kind of set up kind of the whole contest, because whoever finishes where in that is going to go last or next to last in the deadlift, and then they'll probably pull 2 at a time on the knack deadlift. Yeah. So basically, if you get into that last heat, you're going to know the reps to beat, and that's a massive advantage for those guys. So that's going to be a huge thing, and a huge way to kick off the finals. And the guys who are really good at fingers are going to be sitting in a real good spot going into the knack deadlift. Yeah. Now, the knack deadlift is going to be pretty interesting, because all the guys that roll that in, they roll the deadlift bar in, are not going to be able to do that with the knack, with the knack deadlift. Those boxes don't roll; they don't move. You're not going to be able to slide it in. So if you trained doing that, you made a critical error.
Well, it's also going to be on the sand stage too. That's kind of for
that's kind of normal. That they'll have a platform out there. You'll be on the platform, which means the stage will give a little bit, which they'll probably be on like a box and pulling it. So it's not going to be that big of an issue. Okay. The issue will be the guys can't roll it in. Yeah. So if you pick it up, you're going to have to go straight back down and set it down. The thing is those boxes jump a little bit when you set them down.
Yeah, they did wiggle a little bit last time.
So they're going to go boom and they're going to move. So you're going to have to really get in the groove. And if it's off just a little bit, you're still going to have to pull it through anyway.
Mhm.
So that's going to be a really interesting one to watch. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Then we have the rain body fuel shield carry. And my understanding is I think they're using the Giants Live Shield.
Yeah.
So it's 440. It's pretty massive shield. There's only going to be probably 3 or 4 of the competitors that will actually be able to lock their hands around that. So, I think Tom Stoltman's got the world record in that event at like 65 meters.
He did post a video literally today on him practicing with it. You know what I'm saying? Or practicing with one that had like you put the plate loaded in the center. Yeah.
Yeah, but that one's going to be a lot easier than that Giants Live Shield.
Okay.
So because that thing's so long, the moment it starts coming down, because the guys are going to try to pick it up in the crook of their arms.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to carry it like this. And the problem with that is you're going to have to start up high in your chest. And as it starts to come down, it's really long and it's going to hit them in the legs. And it's going to put the brakes on. That's why the world record's like 65 meters. It's not, 70, 80, 90, even or 100 meters with the thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty tasty, to say the least, with that one. And there's somebody in a delivery truck delivering across the street, and they have their radio on really loud. So if you can hear this in the background, sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm in the garage.
That's the podcast studio.
Yeah, garage podcast studio. It's only going to be the podcast studio for probably another couple weeks because, like today, it was already 90 degrees outside. So, it's getting a little bit warm. Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of day one. That'll be the third event on day one. That starts at the knack deadlift starts at 10:41. The shield carry starts at 2:18. So the guys should be done pretty early with that. Yeah. And done it over. Plus, there's only 10 guys now instead of 30. So things will go a lot faster. All right. Day two, max dumbbell. It's going to start at 8 a.m. Now, my understanding, which is what I've seen and heard, it's going to be pretty cool event. It's going to be the Slater-ish type of dumbbells. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be filled with sand on the inside and lead shot, not plate loaded. So the guys are going to brace it up here. You really got to prepare because it will not stay up there like the plate loaded ones because there's like a little ridge on those, and you're going to catch the ridge. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't catch the ridge, on there. You can't catch that edge to use it to come up with. So. Okay. Does it matter like how much chalk you put right there, or it'll still just? It's a smooth surface. I have tempted to turn my camera on one of the dumbbells I got over there because I have one of them here. So that's gonna be interesting. And like I said, it's gonna be sand and lead shot loaded. Mm-hmm. From what I'm to understand, it could be completely different from when I get there. That's just what I've been told. If that's the case, that will move. So when you pick it up and you go here, it's going to slosh around. And when you go here to catch it up above your head, it's going to slosh around again. So it's going to be a lot harder to balance than the plate loaded ones. Because the plate loaded ones, you pick it up, sits here, pick it up, throw it over your head. It doesn't move on the inside. It doesn't give you any slosh wiggle. And then it's going to be harder than the Louis Cyr dumbbell and some of the other ones they've set records on because the handle is going to be, it's going to be a 3-inch handle. Yeah. It's not going to be a 2-inch handle. So it's going to be even harder to balance. So it should be interesting to see if these guys can get those, 300, because I think the record's either 320 or 330 on that dumbbell. So to see if they can get into that neighborhood with that apparatus is going to be amazing to watch. As a strongman fan, I'm excited to see it. As a competitor, I'm like, whoo, have fun, guys. That's it. I'm not doing it. Then at 10:10, we have a vehicle pull, which it's usually like a bus or like a 18-wheeler or whatever. It's something rather large and you pull it. That's going to favor the bigger, the heavier guys. Mateus, if he makes the final, he's unbelievable at the truck pull. Brian's really good at the truck pull. It's going to be an interesting one to see.
Oh yeah, I just saw Mitchell pull. He pulled a loaded trailer with a backhoe on it, and I think he posted it as like 40,000 pounds.
Yeah,
but I was like, he was moving pretty good. I was like very surprised on like someone who's barely done that event, even from the last Worlds. He called you last second and was like, "Hey Nick, I need some advice. What should I do?
What do I do on this thing?" I'm like, keep your feet, small steps, small fast steps, get them in sync with your arms, and just the only thing you can do is stay as low as you can and drive.
Yep.
In all honesty, that's try to keep your hips as low as you can and get leaning out into that harness. And get all that weight as forward as you can into that harness, because it just gets the first pull and the last pull. I think depending on how they adjust the equipment, because the thing you got to realize, it's not necessarily the weight of the vehicle that you pull that makes it so difficult, because you can take a 20,000 pound vehicle and make it unpullable. I mean, go slightly uphill, let air out of the tires, stuff like that. You can make something that, you could actually push down the street just brutally hard and unable to move. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up the event. Hooper did pull a pretty, 40,000 pound vehicle, but he probably should have taken some of the air out of the front tires and made it to where the first pull and the last pull is just as bad, because if they set it the way they usually set it at Worlds, it doesn't gain momentum. They want to set it to where you'll have maybe 3 or 4 guys that finish, in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 guys that just get it at the time, and everybody else misses and gets a distance. So if they set it that way, it's going to be pretty spicy. So that'll be fun to watch. And then that's at 10:10, and then at 1:54 p.m.
exactly on the dot, East Coast time, EST.
East Coast time. Yep. Is the Atlas stones. That'll be, the traditional, 5 stones, which should be pretty cool. I think the last 2 are the last one's like 460 something and 440. Third one's like 400. I think they start at 360, 380, 400, 440, and 460. I think that's what the weights are now, but those things can change. They haven't had the guys in the yard. We don't know exactly what the implements look like or anything to a certain degree. We've heard rumors about what they are. That's why I say this about the shield or that about the dumbbells. But the thing is you never really know till you get in the yard and start looking at the equipment, what you're going to be competing with, because a lot of the stuff they give you is vague. That's just how it is. But it makes it really interesting. And it's going to be fun to watch as a spectator. This one, looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I wish all the guys luck. Sometimes you wish you don't retire.
Yeah, sometimes it goes like that.
But it's going to be. Sometimes you're glad you retired. So, and I will never say I will never do another strongman contest. But I'm still recovering. I still got a ways to go. There would be no way, even last minute, that I could possibly even think about jumping into this time. Well,
that's the thing though too. So you can't do that now. But the thing is, there's other avenues. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of giant slides. The PSL just started. They just converted from Clash to professional, pro strongman league. Guess what? There's other facets to contribute where, like you said, you could be in the event. You could, as in like I'm miking the event, hosting the event, judging events. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of aspects.
Commentary.
Commentary. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of things. So that's the great thing about this retirement for what you're doing, because like I said, it's not the end, because you have so much more to give.
Oh no.
Strongman. You know
never
what I mean?
The end. Never
that's what I'm saying. I was like I said, we make the best of what's happening now.
But there's things I'm really excited to see. I'm excited to see B go out there on his last one, going after his 5th title. I'm excited to see Mark, because this is going to be Mark's last one.
Yep.
And I'm excited for him. I think this is like his 17th one, which is absolutely amazing. There's only been 7 guys to do over 10. So, and he's got the most. So that's pretty amazing.
And one of the great things about this one coming up is you just mentioning how many actual new guys are actually stepping into the arena right now.
Yeah, there's like 6 of them, 6 rookies coming in this year. So that's going to be interesting process for them to go to, because I mean, they got to get there a little bit early. Then they got, medical and the media, and the day before they go to the yard and they get to play with or try a lot of the events. How many of them are going to try events that they probably shouldn't be doing? And how many of them are going to be not doing events they should be trying to figure out to lift, stuff like that. So it's always kind of like interesting to see the rookies come in, and some of them hit it out of the park, and some of them are like, oh, wow, this is a whole new experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like a traditional one-day show, or even one-day show, because one, it's 4 days. If you make it to the finals, it's 4 days, and it's 4 days of competing in 5 days.
Yeah.
So when you get to the finals, when you make it through to the finals, you get rewarded with, oh, by the way, you're doing it all over again.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but it's still, you're at the end of that second part of the contest, at the end of the finals, you are just destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, your body's done. You need time off.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun to watch. And I mean, I'm excited because, Thomas Evans got in.
Yeah. And he was on our show.
Yeah, he was on our show.
And we just kind of mentioned it.
Yeah. True. But he did place 5th at the Arnold. So very well deserved. And I mean, he's going to be in the Shaw Classic this year. He just placed 5th at the Arnold. Now he's in World's Strongest Man. He's hitting all the big world level shows, and rookie year, and showing that he belongs there. So, and he's going to get better. He's a smart dude. So it's going to be fun to watch, especially as he gets more equipment and more access to things to train, and more knowledge of the implements while he's there, because the guys that have been to Worlds, like, 5-6 times by now, they got a pretty good idea of what they're walking into. They know how to prepare for it. They know how to sleep. They know how to eat. They know when to eat. They know how to wake up. They know how to get going, stuff like that. They know that they're going to be in the middle of an event. They're going to do a television break, and you got to stop, calm back down in the middle of the television break.
Yeah.
Because they'll be doing sweeps or,
crowd work,
commentary, whatever. And then they'll go. And so you got to shut it down for a half hour. Well, you got to have the ability to flip a switch and turn it right back on.
Yeah, exactly. And that machine's got to keep running, not idle, until you're ready to let loose.
And that's a talent. And that's not easy to do, guys that get cooled off for a minute and then got to come back out and go. So it's neat to see and watch the guys and how they react to it, and how they handle things. Yeah. And then come back out and still go perform. So I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's it.
And we fly out a week from
Monday. Yeah, the 17th. Nick will be on a plane. I'll be on a plane, and we'll be at Worlds.
Yeah. Yep. Running around causing trouble.
That's it. This is my second Worlds too. So like the first one I got to go to last year with Nick. This year I get to go again, and it's like I said, it's like a dream come true. I'm getting to enjoy this right here, And one of the things too is I want people to know, because I don't know how publicized it is, but the event is free. All you got to do is just show up and enjoy yourself. So if you're in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, guess what? You want to see World's Strongest Man. Exactly. Get there early, get a spot, bring some water, sunscreen, because guess what? We're going to be on the beach.
Little portable chair.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait till the event goes. And then stand.
Exactly. Be ready.
Yeah, and then the same thing. As soon as that event's over, go get your spot for the next event, that type of stuff. Because it's free. You can just walk up and go.
That's it.
And then the VIP area does cost, but I think that's sold out now, so there's no fretting over that either.
Yeah.
But it's going to be neat. The guy, and by the way, the guys love you guys. I mean, when you're there and you're cheering and they're going and stuff like that.
Everybody takes pictures. Everybody will sign and take a pic. Because guess what? Without you guys and your support, that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Because of you guys that are listening to this podcast, understand that you guys put us in. You put these guys in the position where they can actually do this.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to find out who's in the heats, so we can actually kind of get an idea of, like, you put the 6 guys in the heat going, well, you know, they still got to, no matter what, though, you still got to go out and do it.
Wow. And I'm going to say it right.
There's a whole other thing when you got to go still go out and do. What should be and what happens can usually be 2 different things. But
that's it. Yeah. That's it. And what I'm going to say too is, like, our podcast next Tuesday is most likely going to be a late podcast, and I'll put it out Tuesday night, because guess what? Once we get there, we're going to know the heats, we're going to know the breakdowns, and we're going to be able to record a little something and be able to actually give you guys much more informed information as we figure what Worlds is going to be.
And maybe even grab a guy or 2 to talk to.
Hey, never hurts. Never hurts.
Shoot the fat with the guys and catch up with them a little bit.
Exactly.
What's normally going on. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Me too. I'm definitely looking forward to having a good time out there. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, with that being said, you know, I think we actually covered quite a bit. We're getting prepared for Worlds. Nick's gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. We're gonna be out there. It's gonna be a hell of a time. Yeah, everybody's gonna be real good. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't have made that turn in Albuquerque.
Sorry, old dad jokes. So,
well, Nick, let's send this out. You know what I'm saying? Let these people know some of the best advice they'll ever hear in their entire life.
Okay. Well, hey, if you like this, please like it. Please share it. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best you can be. And if you're at World's Strongest Man, we'll see you there. Thanks.
You guys will see you on the next one.
You're listening to The Best Experience with Nick Best.